In the heart of Umuofia, a small village known for its vibrant market and lively community, stood Mama Nkechi's restaurant, a place where everyone came to eat. Her meals were legendary and people traveled from neighboring villages to taste her spicy jollof rice, tender goat meat and rich vegetable soups. Even on the hottest afternoons, her food store overflowed with eager customers, laughing and chatting as they waited for a seat. Mama Nkechi wasn't just known for her cooking, she was also a skilled hairdresser. When she wasn't stirring a pot or frying plantains, she sat women down on a stool outside her restaurant, expertly braiding their hair with nimble fingers. Her hands worked magic in both cooking and styling, and in a short time she became one of the most beloved figures in Umuofia. But behind her warm smile and charming hospitality lay a secret so dark that it would shake the village to its core. It started as a whisper among a few women in the village. One day, a woman named Ijoma sat at Mama Nkechi's store, enjoying a bowl of egusi soup when something strange happened. As she lifted a spoonful to her mouth, she noticed a strand of hair floating in the soup. She furrowed her brows but shrugged it off, assuming it was a mistake. After all, accidents happen in busy kitchens. But a week later, another customer, Adobe, found the same thing in her food, a long black strand of hair. This time, she mentioned it to her friends as they left the store. "You think she's getting careless?" Adobe asked. Her friend shook her head. "It's strange. I heard someone else complained about finding hair in their food last week." The news spread quickly, but people loved Mama Nkechi's food too much to stop coming. Her meals were too flavorful, too perfect to resist. Surely, it was all a coincidence, just some minor kitchen mishaps. Amaka, a young woman with sharp eyes and inquisitive mind, was one of the Mama Nkechi's regular customers. She also frequently visited the restaurant to get her hair braided. One day, after having her hair intricately styled by Mama Nkechi, she decided to stay for lunch. As she sat down to eat, a strange sensation washed over her. The smell of her freshly braided hair lingered in the air, but it wasn't just coming from her head. She leaned over her bowl of pepper soup, sniffing carefully. Her heart skipped a beat as she recognized the same scent. Could it be that the aroma of her own hair was mixed in the food? The thought was absurd, but it gnawed at her. Amaka finished her meal and left, but the unsettling feeling followed her home. That night, she couldn't sleep. She decided to find out the truth. The next day, Amaka returned to Mama Nkechi's restaurant, pretending to leave after her meal. But instead of going home, she hid near the back of Mama Nkechi's restaurant, where she could see the kitchen. Mama Nkechi thought she felt she was alone as she prepared the next batch of food. Amaka watched intently as Mama Nkechi took a small pouch from her apron. To Amaka's horror, Mama Nkechi opened the pouch, revealing a clump of hair-long strands of black and brown gathered together. With a practiced hand, she sprinkled the hair into the pot of soup and stirring it carefully as though it was a prized seasoning. Amaka gasped, her heart pounding in her chest. She had seen enough. Without hesitation, she ran out of her hiding place and confronted Mama Nkechi. "What are you doing?" Amaka cried out, pointing at the pot. Mama Nkechi froze, the ladle still in her hand, her face paled, but she quickly composed herself. "Amaka, you don't understand. This is a family secret. It's how the food tastes so good." Amaka was speechless. She backed away, disgusted. "You have been feeding us human hair?" The news spread like wildfire through Umuofia. People who had once adored Mama Nkechi's food were now horrified to learn the truth. Mothers, fathers, children, everyone had eaten from her pot, unaware that she had been secretly using the hair of her customers in her recipes. Angry villagers gathered at the market square, demanding justice. Mama Nkechi, once the beloved cook and hairdresser, was now shunned by the entire village. No one dared to eat at her stall again, and her once thriving business fell into ruin. Mama Nkechi, with shame and regret written all over her face, disappeared from the village shortly after the scandal broke. Some say she fled to another town hoping to start anew, but no one knew for sure. To this day, the people of Umuofia tell the story of Mama Nkechi's dark secret to warm future generations. Her tale is passed down as a reminder to be cautious, to question what we trust, and to remember that even the most beloved among us can harbor the darkest of secrets. And as for Mama Nkechi's restaurant, it still stands empty in the marketplace, a ghost of its former self. Villagers pass by, but no one dares to go near. They say if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can still hear the faint sound of braiding and simmering of a pot filled with more than just food. The end. Please, if you enjoyed my story, please do not to forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, in order to get notified when we upload our subsequent videos. Thank you.